every single spirituality that humanity follows is always based on humans. Every single god, every single saint, every single spirit has always has the human shape. But how surprised are they if you just display on what you believe, what you stand for, if it doesn't have a human face or a human shape? Then people lose their minds. It's like, why are you doing that? Why are you following something like that? It's only an animal. So my brothers and sisters, my name is Tim Heijen and I love to call myself a dragon witch because I love to use magic and I also love to explain this to people who are just like us, brothers and sisters that I call, because I know the dragon's path is a difficult path, it's a challenging path, and I know that sometimes it can be interesting to have another brother or sister just to explain a bit how their path is going. And my path is exactly to yesterday, this day, 20 years. 20 years on the dragon's path without any advice, without anyone telling me what to do. So I just followed my path, and that is exactly how we all should do it. Just following our path has how we feel it, how we sense it, how we are comfortable with it. No one will say to you how you should do your path, and neither do me. So I am 20 years on the dragon's path. It has been a journey. I'm not the one that started this path 20 years ago. I'm completely different. I was 18 years old, now I'm 38 years old, and never been the same again. So I use magic, just like I said to you, I use magic, but not magic that stands in books. That is actually the question that I have a lot. What do I have to do? What stands in books? Well, actually throw that book away, because dragons don't use books. They don't write inside of books, and neither do you. You shouldn't do whatever people said inside of that book, because inside of that book, that is exactly the reason why people follow people. People follow whatever they are comfortable with. Well, we are comfortable with something that is not human. So the first thing actually that I did, if you want to know how I did my rituals were, in the beginning, especially in the beginning, very ritualistic. If you know what I mean. If you do things like this ritualistic, I mean like with candles and with altars, for example. Yeah, I have an altar. But the reason why I have an altar is everything that stands on this altar, especially this one, tells a story. It tells a story of my 20 years being on the dragon's path. Every single item on there tells a story. But also, it is 20 years old. My dragon altar is 20 years old. It tells a story of 20 years. But also, it started all, because I wanted to do a ritual. I wanted to reach out for the dragon, but I didn't know how. How should I reach out for the dragon? Well, I don't know, because where do I have to say it? Where do I have to ask it? How to do a ritual for the dragon? How do I reach out for them? Well, actually, just follow your instincts. So the first thing that I ever done was a ritual here in front of my altar. And without even knowing it, on my altar stands, without knowing it, all the four elements. All the four elements are present, including air, earth, fire, and water. They were all included in there, but I didn't know that. So I did a ritual when I laid down, and I just wanted the dragon to take my soul. I wanted to have that they wanted to have that. I wanted that they would have my soul. That is how how dedicated that I was, so that you have to understand how dedicated I actually was on the dragon's path. I wanted the dragon to take it all, and the dragon did came, and not just any dragon, but Tiamat. Tiamat is the dragon goddess, my dragon goddess. And she said, I don't need your spirit, I don't need your soul. We are already one. So if you are interested in doing a ritual for the dragon, follow your heart. But if you want to do it ritualistic, I have some advice for you. Invoke the 4 elements in any way, shape, or form. So that, like I said, without even knowing it, I had all the 4 elements present here on my dragon altar 20 years ago. And it had result. So the 4 elements, elements you have to know, they are the creators of life here on Earth. But the embodiment of every single element is a dragon god, you can say. Earth, air, fire, water. All dragons, all 4 dragons. That is why the dragon is so close to the elements, not just fire, but every single element. So you have to know, for example, what is your strongest element? What is the dragon god that will come for you? With me, it was Tiamat. Tiamat is the earth, but it's the same kind of water. So that is what the dragon god and dragon guardian will come to you whenever your 4 elements are present. Use your dragon eye. I don't have a picture. Yeah, you will see it. It's a reverse triangle with that connects every single corner. With lines in it, and it represents you and your dragon god and your dragon guardian. It's actually a trinity. And use your invoke the dragon eye. That connects you and your dragons together alongside with each other. So if you want to do a ritual, then come together and use the symbol. The symbol, goddess. I don't have. Do I have something to write? No, I have. But I don't have paper. Let's see. Let's see if I can do something, if I can write it down. If you want to do a ritual for the dragon, there is an ancient symbol that represents you and your dragons all together. And this is it. This is the sign of your connection with your dragon, and use that inside of a ritual. And how to do this ritual? Do whatever you want, do whatever you desire. There are no rules. Just let it all go. Let everything go. And forget about humans, forget about rules. This is where the dragon is unleashed. Your own dragon, your dragon self, the dragons with you, all unleashed. So no rules, just use the dragon eye and invoke the 4 elements in any way, shape, or form. What you also can do, and that is for some people, not all of us are, capable of doing that, and that is meditation. And inside of that meditation, it's supposed that you lose your human self. That is why people call it, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this for an animal? You have to be a different species. You have to understand whatever we are reaching out for. I never felt comfortable in this world. Never, ever around humans, I never felt comfortable. And there's a reason why. Because we are not part of them. We are not normal, alongside with them. Because of our dragon soul. Our dragon soul is reaching out for the dragon. And that is what you should do if you can do meditation. But even without meditation, is to lose your human self. Lose your humanity, and that is what I did in that ritual. With the 4 elements present, I did lose my human self and just woke up. My human self weighed like 1,000 tons, and I just woke up, but only my spirit woke up. My humanity stayed down, while my dragon self was rising alongside with Tiamat, and rising alongside with my dragon guardian. And lose your humanity completely. Just go to square one, like you were just being born here in this world, vulnerable. Be as vulnerable as possible. So if you want to know the ritualistic way, that is actually what I recommend. And also, not to forget, blood. Blood is very, very intense. Your blood is actually, when it touches your soul, it's your life force. Your life force is blood. And that is the first thing that I've ever done with this image of the dragon. It was my first image, also the one that took care that I was triggered by dragons. I was not even on the dragon's path that I bought this. But later on, because I wanted to invoke Tiamat, I used a couple of drops of blood and rub it on the dragon. Don't ask me why. I was completely uh, I was guided to do this. Like the dragon was saying to me whatever I had to do. And I did that. And the results were, I cannot even describe in words. So that ritual was intense. But yeah, these are the ritualistic way actually to understand how rituals go. Ritualistic and in a way, yeah, if you want to know the witchy way, how with rules, but actually I never had rules, I just did it. So if you want to remember it, these are the things that you can do. I'm not saying that you have to do it, but you can do it. How to open the dragon's gate? Invoke the 4 elements in any way, shape or form: earth, air, water, fire. A candle, a rock, a glass of water, um, and a feather. So that is what I had. So it was amazing actually, so that you would know what dragon god will come for you. And my dragon god was Tiamat. It was a goddess. Use the dragon eye. Just remember it. If you want to put it close to you, everyone has a different dragon eye, but we should know how to use it. It opens gates. It opens the gates for your dragon. Use it and never do anything forced. Try a little bit of meditation and let your human self sleep. And if you are prepared to do this, then maybe you should also give a bit of blood to the dragon. Not to the dragon actually, it's more to the dragon's gate, so that it would be open. The dragon's gate would recognize your dragon essence, so that your dragon gate, our dragon gate, will actually be opened. But if you want a different explanation for how to do rituals, just not in a ritualistic way, there is much more easier explanation how to connect with your dragon. First of all, talk with the dragon every single night. I talk with the dragon. I don't only talk in front of my dragon altar. I also talk while at work, while I'm in the forest, while every time, because everywhere where I go, where you go, the dragon is present. Dragons are everywhere where you go. Also, think of dragons, It doesn't make sense that you follow the dragon's path and never think about them. Just follow them because it sounds interesting. No, I was, to be very honest, and still am, obsessed about dragons. Obsessed of what they are, of what they can do, how pure they are, how beautiful they are. Everything about them is perfect. And I cannot believe that this lives inside of us. But it does. It does, and you just have to stir it up in how you see fit. Think of dragons and don't forget about them. And that is, of course, the next one. And that is what I do in front of my altar. Be a dragon. Just forget about your human self and be a dragon, because only dragons are capable of opening the dragon's gate. So if you lose your human self, that is what Tiamat actually showed me. Tiamat pinned me down on the floor, but only my human self. My draconic self was rising, and I could feel that. So I was becoming a dragon at that moment. And I could feel that in my mind, in my soul, in every single energy that I have, that I was changing into a dragon at that moment, at that ritual. It was intense, to say at least. So don't forget also, when you want to describe yourself, be a dragon. Feel the connection. Feel the connection, that connection with the dragon. That is because of that feeling that you have this connection, that you just can feel your own draconic self, and why the dragons are with you, because there is much more than meets the eye. You are above the world. That is also the next one that I just want to recommend you. Forget about humanity. Forget about your daily life. This is all just decoration, and also humans. No one is actually telling you anything about dragons, or about your humanity, or about anything like it. It's just a distraction. Humans are just a distraction. Just go inside, just be isolated, just for a moment, and just be above this world, because you stand next to a God that humanity doesn't know anymore, but a God that you just need to feel inside of yourself. You have a trinity. You're a dragon god, your dragon guardian, and your dragon spirit. And the spirit is what you are. You are not worshipping it. You are one of it. You are one with everything. You are next to a god. You are one with God. You are one with the dragon. So stand above everything in this world, because you are this world. You are one with it. And just my final recommendation when doing the dragon's ritual and whatever you do on the dragon's path is to feel good. And that is what some people just don't seem to understand. When I see people go to church, for example, or go to imam or whatever they are doing, are they feeling good? Are they feeling well? Or are they just obliged to do it? Are they feeling that they have to do it? That it's all a rule, or else you go to hell if you don't do it, if you don't follow that god or that culture, if you don't do it. Well, actually, the first moment that I followed the dragon, I felt amazing. Nobody told me to do that. Nobody asked me to do it. Nobody even mentioned the name dragon. And I just felt amazing. That feeling, just, I cannot describe that feeling in words, but that feeling is unlike you ever felt before. That feeling of to be connected with your dragons. And it was just years later that I discovered how close we are with the dragon, that even there is even a dragon living inside of us. That only the others, the outside, why we are feeling so good, because we are one of them. We are not at home. Here in this world we are lost. So never forget, whenever you connect with the dragon, whenever you follow the dragon, to feel good in whatever you do. If you don't feel good anymore, there is something wrong. So I felt the dragon and I felt good. I followed the dragon and I felt amazing. And that is the reason why I follow them. That is the reason why I want to reach out for them. So if you want to follow just this, talk with the dragon, think about your dragon, be a dragon, feel the connection. You are above this world, and just feel good. And if you want to do it in a ritualistic way, then how to open the dragon's gate. These are the 5 things. But the other one is to invoke the 4 elements in any shape or form. Use the dragon eye, use the ritual and meditation. But these are not things that you have to do, of course not. These, for example, these are just recommendations of mine because I know it works. So meditation, use your human self, very much recommended. And if you want to, or you are injured, then donate a bit of blood and write it down on everything that makes you think of dragons. So I wrote it down actually on this image of the dragon, while in fact I rubbed it down on the dragon's gate, and it opened and Tiamat came through, and it was something that I cannot describe in words. So if you want to do it, invoke the 4 elements, use the dragon's eye, use meditation if you can. If you cannot, use something else. Lose your human self and use blood. So these are the more ritualistic explanation of how to open a dragon's gate. But if you want to make it just to be yourself, just talk with the dragon, think about your dragon, be a dragon, feel the connection. You are above this world and feel good. That might be the most important one. Feel good. Feel good in whatever you do. Feel good in who you are. Feel, and don't listen. If you're going to be judged, whatever you are saying, whatever you are doing, you're going to be judged in whatever you're doing. That is exactly the reason why I call myself a dragon witch. I don't call myself a dragon king. I don't call myself a dragon mage. I don't call myself anything like it, because what are witches? Witches used to be very misunderstood. Witches were very much real, especially in the medieval times. They were called a witch because they were different. They have a different spirituality, they have a different way of life, they have a different every single thing. They were detached from society. That is why they killed them. And as women and even men, especially in Eastern Europe, it was mostly men actually that were executed because of being a witch. And so, yeah, that is why I call myself, because I am a witch. I am an outsider. I am using magic. I am following something completely different than them. I am completely a witch. I do magic. They don't understand whatever I'm doing. So I am a witch. I'm an outsider. And if I would live in the medieval times, it would be done with me. So, and I am also a dragon for dragons. You are a dragon for your dragons. Your dragons see into your eyes and see your soul, and that is what your dragons are doing. Together, you are a dragon witch. And that is why I call myself this. We are doing everything to reach out for our dragons. But that is all just recommendations. Recommendations that I don't want to say you have to do it. No, do whatever you want with it. Do whatever you please. But never forget, do whatever makes you feel good.